we'll wrap things up. We almost finished the Module 3 on the time value of money. A few definitions I just want to quickly reinforce for everyone. Annuities versus perpetuities. Annuities are a fixed payment of money, basically the same amount, over a specific amount of time, a finite amount of time. So in essence, if you're receiving $100 a year for 10 years, that's an annuity. If you're getting $100 a year forever, that's a perpetuity. So I want you to understand the difference between annuities and perpetuities. Now, it's great to compound your money. Albert Einstein said the most difficult mathematical concept he was ever faced with was compound interest. And I think there's some truth to that. But you'd rather receive your money compounded monthly than to be compounded annually. And you'd rather receive your money compounded weekly than compounded monthly. And you'd rather have it compounded daily than to have it compounded weekly. In other words, the finer and finer and finer that you can compound your money, the better off you are. Ideally, you'd like to have it compounded continuously. You know, every split second, be compounding the money. There won't be a huge difference between compounding continuously and compounding every minute, but you get the idea. Continuous compounding would give you the very highest overall return. Finally, I want to just talk to you for a second about lottery winnings, specifically McDonald's. If you read the fine print of McDonald's when they have their Monopoly giveaways, if you collect Boardwalk and Park Place, you receive $1 million. And then you read the fine print, and it's going to be paid every year over the course of 40 years. So then you start scratching your head and saying, gee, that doesn't sound like $1 million. And you'd be right. If we do our timeline, and we do the math of what $1 million over 40 years is, it's actually $25,000 a year. So you have $25,000 a year. N is equal to 40. And what do we think the long-term rates are likely to be as time goes on in the U.S.? I don't think they're going to stay at 2%. So why don't we say the long-term rate is 5%? What are we solving for? Well, we're actually solving for the present value. We want to know what that's going to be worth today. So if we had to put a value on $1 million paid out over 40 years at a 5% interest rate, and it's being paid over 40 years, let's just calculate what that is. So we go to the FX button, and we're trying to solve for present value. And the rate is going to be 5%. It's going to be over 40 years, and we're getting $25,000 a year for 40 years. What's the present value of that? $428,977. Well, that's less than $500,000. McDonald's said, I want $1 million. But the present value of that is less than 1/2 of what's being advertised. So, you know, buyer beware. Make sure that you understand that there is a cost to being promised this money in the future. And you're not going to be making nearly as much as you thought you were. With that information in today's lecture, plus what you've read in the book, plus the PowerPoint slides, you should be ready for your first quiz in this class. So I will let the teams work together on this quiz only. The rest are going to be individual quizzes. But this one, let your teams work together, and that might allow you, more than one point of view as to how to do the calculations. If you are able to do these calculations relatively well, you're going to be off to a really good start understanding the time value of money. Good luck with this.